Well, hello, welcome to our Blue Star Careers webinar. These have been, of course, now our Wednesday career connections to deliver all career solutions to all of our Blue Star Career members. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Laura Torres, and I'm here today to talk again. We are streaming live all over our social networks. Please be sure that you tell us where you're watching. We love to be able to share with you shout outs, but also acknowledge your comments and be able to support all of our great connections and opportunities that we have available for you. Let me just double check. We make sure that we have sound here for you. If you can hear me, please post it in the comments that you can hear me. I want to make sure that we can actually have some sound here for you as well. Awesome. Thank you so much for supporting. There we are. Perfect. Thank you so much. Yes, as I was saying, today we are delighted to welcome one of our great partners who has been educating us about ways to get back to college. So, if you are one of those members from our community who are looking to get back to school, if so, please drop it in the comments. We want to make sure that you have all the resources, all the insights, but of course, the easy process for you to get back into school with a very low cost, or maybe sometimes no cost, but most importantly, just know how to get back to college and resume your activities and you secure better career opportunities. Today, we are delighted to welcome Gini Beran, who is representing the College Board organization, which is she has incredible opportunities for adult learners considering to get back to school. Perhaps you, due to military life, are just shy of a few credits, or perhaps you just need to complete your associates, your bachelor's, or even a master's degree. Let's have Jenny share all the process, as I said earlier today, but most importantly, how you can take advantage of these opportunities that sometimes exist, but we have no idea how to access. But today, we have all those resources and we have the connections to share everything that you need in order for you to make it happen. All right. So let's get started and begin our webinar. Again, please post it in the comments. Tell us where you're watching. Tell us, we want to send you shout outs, your comments, post your questions about your college information. If we don't know it, guess what? We'll make sure to follow up with you and share those resources with you in the neighborhood so that we can make your career trajectory much easier and support you along the way. All right? Perfect. Thank you so much for watching and supporting. Again, tag your MilSpouse Network and share your comments. Let's begin. Okay, once again, thank you so much for joining. And we're here very excited to welcome Jeannie to our webinar, this Wednesday webinar that is a career solution based for you, our Blue Star Careers members. So, Jeannie, welcome. So thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule at this time of the year, I imagine. But please tell us all about you, your military connection, your great career trajectory, anything you feel wonderful and comfortable sharing with our community.
Yeah, thank you, Laura. I welcome the opportunity to be here. Again, my name is Gini Beran. I'm the director of CLEP Outreach, and I'll share a little bit more about what CLEP is coming up, but just my own career path. I was one of those traditional students, went right from high school to college. I worked as a counselor for many years in the great state of Minnesota. There, I helped adults of all ages come back to college. Technical careers just really was my focus there, and really enjoyed working with a diverse population. I've been with the College Board now about 8 years. It's a great place to work, and really happy to be here today to share out some information about how to get back or even start thinking about higher education.
Got it. Thank you so much. So now I'm going to put you on the spot, Jeannie, but let's talk about real life changing experiences. And I know you just mentioned you're from a wonderful state of Minnesota, cold this time of the year, but also a great community out there. And as an educator yourself, how did you end up with College Board?
Well, so like I said, I lived in Minnesota for my whole life, and then 11 years ago, a job opportunity came up for my spouse, and so we moved to Florida. So that's where I am actually live in my home office here in Florida. And so when I moved, then the opportunity through a colleague, networking is really key to employment. And so I had a former colleague from Minnesota that worked for College Board and said, "Come, check us out and join the team." So I've been there, like I said, for about 8 years.
Awesome, thank you. So it is really goes to reassure the networking and who you know, and of course your connections, but most importantly, stay connected and follow those great professionals throughout your career trajectory that would let you land those life-changing opportunities and experiences. You never know, right? And a few years from now, but we're
Right?
here
And
to
it
talk
doesn't
about
hurt to ask. That's what I found too, is that
absolutely.
you have to let people know that I'm in this space right now and I'm looking for something. And it's a connection, connections. So good advice.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about College Board in general. And then I know we're going to share a little bit of a presentation overall so the members can get a visual and get a little more structure of what different opportunities are there available to earn credit. But what is College Board in general for those that might not be aware of?
Yeah. So College Board has been around for over 100 years. And our mission, we're a not for profit. Our mission is to help students achieve college success. So we have a plethora of tools. Folks that might be familiar with things like even in their own high school experience or your children's high school experience, advanced placement or AP courses and exams. The SAT is used as an admissions exam. We have other products as well. I specifically work with CLEP, which I'm going to share out more about how that tool can help learners of all ages get back into higher education.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So you're going to tell us today we're here to talk a little bit more about CLEP, right? CLEP,
Mhm.
this is something that is kind of like the unheard magic wand of education. That's how I like to be able to like, this is a magic wand, fast forward towards career trajectory for sure, but also that leads to, better opportunities because sometimes we all learn life experiences. And I think many of us go through military life, switching schools back and forward, all kinds of things, and pick up credits from here and there. And you're going to tell us really what this is all about. So I'm going to be quiet and I'm going to let you walk us through the process on what this is. So go ahead and take it over, Jenny.
All right. Again, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be here today. So I'll talk a little bit about CLEP, but what I want to do is just share. This is my kind of my goal for the day, but I want this to be interactive. So Laura, if people have questions or comments, or I'm talking too fast in my Minnesota accent, feel free to jump in and make me take a breath. And I'm happy to answer questions as we go along. Um, Whether you're starting out, just thinking about going back to higher ed and how do you get there, or ready to finish. We talked about sometimes there's those gaps. Maybe you started as a traditional age student and had to stop out for all the reasons that we know as folks do. But CLEP can be a tool that can help you meet your educational degree requirements. So today, what I hope to do is have just a really super brief presentation, just so we can all have a conversation about CLEP and educational goals and degree attainment. So I'll share a little bit about what CLEP is, and then I have some cool information around free prep and practice resources. I think when you hear about things being free, sometimes there's a doubt, like, is that too good to be true? And what I'm going to tell you, this whole thing about CLEP and the free resources, and even how to pay for it. So it's a zero out of pocket expense for you as a learner. It is really as good as it seems. So a little bit too good to be true. So happy to share all that. And then, like I said, I have discussion here at the end, but my presentation is short. So if you have questions as we go through, happy to answer those as we move forward. So when you talk about CLEP, it's an acronym. So when people, if you're not familiar with College Board product, CLEP specifically, we are kind of a well-kept secret, unfortunately. But CLEP is an acronym that stands for the College Level Examination Program. CLEP is an exam. It provides learners of all ages the opportunity to show mastery of college level material through a valid, reliable exam. CLEP has been around since 1967. So when you talk about testing out of courses, or you're an adult, your life experiences you have knowledge that when you think about going back to school or starting school, you think, oh, I don't want to have to take a freshman English course because I do reports in my day-to-day job. CLEP can be the tool, then that test where you can sign up and take it. And show mastery of that college level material. So when you enroll in college, you move into the next higher course in that sequence. Um, Opportunity to test out of entry level courses. When we talk about CLEP, we have 34 exams, and you'll see here from the list that they really encompass these 5 categories of the world languages, science and mathematics, composition and literature, business, and then the social sciences. So wherever you are along your pathway, we know for an associate degree and for a bachelor's degree, there are these general education required courses. You have to show that you're a well-rounded learner. And so these CLEP subjects meet those gen ed requirements primarily. You know, we do have that business suite of exams. So for folks who have some knowledge, work-life knowledge experience in any of these business areas, those are the introductory business course. So if you're working towards a degree in business, some of those CLEP exams are a great opportunity. So again, CLEP is the exam that you take whenever you're ready, based on your familiarity with these subjects. And again, I'm going to share out some tools for you. So what we know is a lot of people underestimate what they know. For whatever reason, we kind of have some self-doubt around, do I really know enough to earn college credit in this subject area? So I'll share out some resources so you can prepare and practice so you can feel confident on test day that you're able to be successful on that exam. Just a little bit in the weeds about what CLEP exams are. They are computer-based. They're delivered digitally at CLEP test centers or remote proctoring. So for those folks who maybe don't live near a community college or university that might offer a CLEP test at their test center, if you have the right equipment, which is really just a computer laptop, it can't be a Chromebook or Mac, you can test from home. So they're timed exams delivered digitally, again, at a test center or remotely via remote proctoring. The cool thing about being a digital exam is you get your results right away. That doesn't happen in a lot of other spaces. So you're on your computer, you finish your test, you hit submit, and it says, would you like to see your score? Yes. And so you'll see your score as soon as you're done. So you'll have a good feeling about how you did immediately. We do have 2 exams that require a little bit of essays, Spanish with writing and college composition. So again, when you think of those courses in college, the faculty want to see the writing component of the learner. So there is a brief essay that you do on the computer as well. You hit submit. So those scores take about 2 weeks to get the results back. But the other 32 exams, it's immediate. When we talk about scores, CLEP is scored on a scale from 20 to 80. And so most colleges and universities, well, we have 2,900 colleges and universities across the country that award college credit for CLEP. ACE, the American Council on Education, recommends a passing score of 50 across all subjects. It's really important, though, for our CLEP test takers to do their due diligence. If you're enrolled in a college or university, my suggestion would be to just Google CLEP on their website to see what exams are accepted, what score is needed, and what class it equals. Lots of folks, especially if you've been in and out of higher ed, you may have a bunch of credits that are just elective credits. What we're really hoping that CLEP can do is meet a degree requirement. Get to know your advisor. If you're thinking about enrolling, get to know the admissions advisor, counselor who can help guide you and maybe pull together some transcripts that you have to see if there's any gaps, any courses that are missing. And again, if you have the prior knowledge or use our resources, you can take that exam instead. And that way save your time and money to continue on for your bachelor's degree or your master's degree. CLEP is delivered 365 days a year. So it's really up to you when you want to test. And it's just a matter of testing again at a test center or scheduling it remotely. The cost of a CLEP exam is $95. When we survey our test takers about why CLEP, as you can imagine, the reasons that we hear are twofold. One is time. Time savings can be looked at different ways. Time, if you're a full-time student and you're trying to take 15 credits to graduate in, 4 semesters for an associate degree, it's a lot of time to be in class. So it can be seat time in a given semester, and it also can just be time to degree. So as you progress in earning credits in a 16-week block of time, again, CLEP can be taken whenever you're ready. So if you prepare and practice on your own, you can do it over holiday break. You can do it in the summer. You can prepare, practice, take that CLEP exam, and earn that college credit whenever you're ready. And then the other reason that we hear frequently about why CLEP is the cost savings. As I mentioned, the cost of a CLEP exam is $95. To do it remotely through the remote proctoring or at a test center, there's an admin charge. The average is about $30 too. So in total, most CLEP exams equate to about 3 college credits. So when you talk about the $95 investment into yourself in this exam versus how much you're saved when you look at a average cost of 3 college credits, nationally, when you include tuition fees and books, it is a huge cost savings for folks. So time and money are the two reasons that most folks are primarily motivated to take CLEP exams. And the fact that a lot of us have some skill set. When I shared with you the top or our 34 exams, our top volume exam has been historically Spanish language. So when you think of folks who have the ability to speak, understand, read in Spanish, that's a great example of earning college credit for what you already know. So we have many heritage, bilingual, and native Spanish speakers who take the Club Spanish exam. And with that exam, they can earn up to 6 to 9 to 12 college credits, depending on their scores and their institution's policy. So that's almost a minor in a degree. So we love our speakers of Spanish who are really doing great things with CLEP and really accelerating their time to degree. When I mentioned resources, so a lot of folks, like we find, may underestimate their abilities. Do I know enough to be well? So even if you, maybe your folks speak Spanish at home, but you don't, this is a free resource. I put it here at Modern States. It's a philanthropic group that started back in 2016. Their mission is really just to help make college more affordable. So what they've done is they've created free online on-demand courses in all CLEP subjects. So they've created that prep piece that was missing. So CLEP had always been based on the premise, earn college credit for what you know, but this is filling that gap. So if you're interested in a subject, if you have some familiarity, maybe you took a course in high school that was interesting, these courses can help you prepare to understand the content and then for that corresponding CLEP exam. So the courses are online, on demand. You can, I have a story of a woman who listened to the lectures in her car on her way to work, back and forth. So you can take the courses whenever you're ready. They're taught by college professors. So Modern States has set up the professors to provide lectures. Everything is at no cost. So there's links out to textbooks, etc., and all of that is no cost. The Modern States course, again, is self-paced, so it's based on how much of the content may be familiar to already. It can take anywhere from 20 to 50 hours. I had a superstar high school student in Michigan who said, "Oh, I did the college composition Modern States course. I knew so much of it, I could zip through it in about 8 hours." In the courses, they also have embedded CLEP practice questions so you can test your understanding of knowledge. So you can become more confident in your ability to be successful when you take the CLEP exam. So the Modern States courses are free. And then to make it even better, for learners who complete the free course, answer those practice questions with 75% correct or higher, Modern States will provide a voucher to cover the cost of the exam. So they provide you a voucher. It's zero out-of-pocket expense for you, and we bill Modern States the $95 per exam fee. It's awesome. So there's no limit on who this is available to. It can be high school students, college students, adults returning to college. Again, the Modern States course is free. And if you complete the course, answer the questions, then the CLEP exam cost can be covered by the cost of through Modern States as well. And again, I use this diagram just to make sure that you understand that it really is as good as it sounds. You know, that you register through Modern States for one of their courses. You can then complete that course. You'll request a voucher. Then you'll go to the College Board website. If you don't have a College Board account, we ask that you set up an account. You register for the exam. So let's say you're going to take Spanish language. You select that exam. It's going to ask for payment, and you just put in that voucher code that you've received from Modern States. That covers the fee. If you're testing remotely, so from the privacy of your own home, the voucher will cover that $30 proctoring fee as well. So zero out-of-pocket expense. You'll schedule the exam. If it's remote proctoring, you'll receive an email of how to schedule that. If you're going to a nearby community college or university to test, you pick up the phone and perhaps give them a call. Again, Modern States will reimburse you. So if you have to pay that college an admin fee, again, the average is $30, save your receipt, and Modern States will reimburse you that fee as well. And then when you are registering for your exam, you can have 2 institutions to send your scores to. A lot of times you might be thinking of college A or university B, or I might be moving, or I want to do an online university. So even if you aren't enrolled in college yet, CLEP can be a tool that you can use to help get you started. You'll have access to your scores for 10 years. So if life changes and you end up going somewhere else, you just can reach back out to College Board, log into your account, and send that score for up to 10 years. So again, it's a way to start accumulating credits. You don't have to be enrolled in a college. You don't have to be a student yet. It can be a way that you can just start preparing and perhaps gaining confidence in your ability. Again, especially with this Modern States piece, that it's a no-cost alternative to college tuition. Again, it can just make your education dollars go further. Last slide is thank you and Q&A. So if there's discussions, questions, and this is my contact information moving forward, so always happy to help as well. What questions do you have? Is anyone out there? Has anyone? I never even asked if anyone's ever taken a CLEP exam. No, I never did as part of my own college journey. Darn.
And when you hear about these opportunities, don't you wish that you would have known a lot sooner? I mean,
Yes.
right now, when you were making the comment about start learning now, I can think of right now like 4 members from my community who I've been working with on a consistent basis about getting back to work, but also there's some missing pieces in education or certificates or degrees. But I can think right now how you can start learning now through Modern States, start
Yes.
accumulating some of those initial credits. Then when you kids go to school or you are fully just ready to really dive into your purpose, then you have already done some of the work in between
Yeah.
your home lifestyle. So I love this opportunity. I love that you said free, 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 free. I do have a question here from our sponsors community from Tasha. Thank you so much. Is there any part of this program available for teenagers?
Yeah.
Adult, yes.
Yes.
Tell
So
us.
my heart was always with adult learners. That's who I worked with when I was at the college prior. But Modern States, their only requirement is the learner has to be 13 or older. So when you think of, so if you have some superstar kids in your life, CLEP Modern States is available to them. Again, there's no limit on the number of courses you can take and vouchers received. So we have students who it's best probably to look at the college, but you know that you need, usually an English course, a math course, a science course. So it's good to diversify, if you're looking, if you aren't enrolled yet in a college, just to have kind of a breadth of general education courses versus saying, I love history, I'm going to do all the history courses. That might not apply to a college degree when you enroll.
Awesome. That is so great. This is a great opportunity. I know there's a lot of young adults in our community or dependents where also there's a struggle to get back into,
Yeah.
just into the workplace or I think there's a new culture with some of the young adults, I think, communities that they're between the high school and the college, they want to take a break. But I
Yeah.
think this will probably serve a good purpose to start learning or just not completely disengage, because I think a lot of them are just scared of the cost, perhaps. I know that's a concern for my child. I'm make putting a comment here for Tasha. It says my daughter is all about going to uh, construction school. Okay, well, let's get her certainly on board and start learning and earning up some of those credits. That will be fantastic. I do have another question here from one of my other multiple monitors that I'm trying to hear keep up with, Ginny. For foreign professionals, who have earned a degree, and I'm going to summarize it differently because I have the comment. It's a bit long. If they have earned their degrees in another country and they're trying to maybe perhaps be able to earn out college to get a not necessarily just get their transcript, because I know with foreign professionals they can get their transcripts credited sometimes,
Mhm.
but sometimes they're shy some credits. This program will work for some of them.
Yeah, great. That's a great
What's your
question.
experience? Yeah.
Yeah, so we know that there are evaluators out there like World Education Services that can look at a foreign transcript and translate that in. But what happens sometimes when you're transferring in, especially internationally, but even it can happen among colleges, that things don't transfer correctly. And CLEP can be the tool that can help with that. I know sometimes I was meeting with students and they would be like, "Oh, I thought I took that psychology course, when I was in college, 10 years ago." And then they got their transcript and there was a W on it. That was the semester they had to withdraw and they forgot. But they're like, I knew the content, but my life didn't allow that for me to finish that course at that point in time. So CLEP can really come in clutch as a tool to help meet those degrees. So whether you're transferring internationally or even just from a college to a college, hopefully, it's a tool your advisors tell you about, because there's no reason, if you have a wealth of skill, knowledge, or the ability to prepare on your own, that you can't take CLEP to meet that general education requirement.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for answering that. And yes, I don't think there's a lot of advisors out there that tell us about CLEP, or I don't know if you have to ask. I don't know if you have to ask and say, maybe you do have to ask, but yeah, I
Mm.
don't think it's brought up that often. So, but I do have another question. So, for members who are not good testers, perhaps virtually, and they do need to go to, what is a test center? Where can we locate test centers throughout the country, or what's define what that looks like, or what is
Right.
considered a test center?
Yeah. So again, CLEP is considered high stakes because the number of college credits a learner can earn through CLEP. So it has to be proctored, live proctored. And so I mentioned the remote proctoring. So if you have the right equipment, you can proctor, take a CLEP exam at home. You'll be monitored. You have to have a webcam to show the room that you really have a private space. You have no materials on your desk. So that's one option. Historically, that came to be as a result of COVID. So in April of 2021, we added remote proctoring. Prior to that, our CLEP test centers, like I mentioned, are mostly at college and university campuses. So a lot of folks on the campus have testing as part of a college career. So whether you're enrolled there or whether you're just interested in taking a CLEP exam there, we have a search tool on our website. So at collegeboard.org, you can type in your zip code and put in a 10 or 15 or 25-mile radius, and it will let you know what test centers are available to you. So here where I live, the local community college has a CLEP test center. They're open. They post online. They're open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. If that works with their schedules, sometimes if you're working full time, the hours might not work. But it's worth a call to the test center to see, do you ever do a Saturday testing? We know some folks that do it once a month. I failed to mention with CLEP, and I think the military connection that came for me is when I joined College Board in the CLEP program, we have a 30-year partnership with the Department of Defense, who funds CLEP exams for all active duty service members, including guards and reserves, certain military spouses of Coast Guard and my CAA spouses, as well as Air Force civilians. So I use Modern States as a way to prepare and practice for CLEP and have it paid for. But if you have any active duty members, they too can be taking CLEP for the same reasons, using that uh, funding to take credit by exam and then saving their GI Bill, to go on to a bachelor's degree, a master's degree.
Wonderful. That is fantastic. And I was going to ask you, I had another question down here that is, how many credits can you earn through CLEP or, on and on before you can actually, and then you can transfer them to your universities of choice?
Right. So that's really dependent on the university. So most colleges and universities will have a residency requirement. So you need to take 25% of your associate degree here. What they'll also then say, you can transfer in blank number of credits from credit by exam opportunities. So whether it's CLEP or a portfolio or prior learning assessment in total.
Sure.
So most institutions will have that requirement. It's not really a college board decision. I would say most schools allow for about 12 to 25 credits coming in through credit by exam or credit for prior learning experiences like CLEP.
Got it. Okay, thank you. I'm just going to do a quick recap for those who are joining in and rejoining. I see a few notifications. People, we're talking to Gini Beran, who is representing College Board. And College Board is a great organization that provides all kind of additional prep tools and just overall support for future college or educational purposes. But today specifically, we're talking about the club. So don't forget to go back and rewind, replay, so that you can watch how CLEP can really get you in a more fast forward, cost effective way, or even free, like free. You know that we love free in our community when it comes to education and certifications, for you to actually earn your associates, your bachelors, or even your masters at a much faster rate, lower cost, but also with earned credit for what you already know. So that's what we were talking about. So thank you so much for watching, and continue to post. Tell us where you're watching, where we want to be able to send you a shout out. We're getting close to wrap it up here. Send Jenny back to a College Board so she can admit and support lots of our members. But I do want to take advantage of another question here from our community that is popping up. It says, what happens if you don't get the score you need or need to retake it? Oh, that would be so me right there, Jenny. So how can I retake and retake?
Right. So again, a beautiful thing about being delivered on a computer digitally is that you get your score right away. And so it's really fun when you get that score that you need and you know that you've earned a college credit. For those who don't get that score, we do have a 90-day retest policy. So you do have to wait 90 days before you can retake the exam. When I mentioned modern states and providing that voucher for that first attempt, I would encourage folks, if you don't get that score you need on the first one, to go back. Sometimes testing isn't maybe the favorite thing you want to do on a given Tuesday, or it wasn't your day, or you didn't have your second cup of coffee. But go back to the modern states. You can go back and relearn some content that maybe you overlooked, and they'll provide you a second voucher. So it doesn't matter if you don't pass. If you have your score sent to the college or university, they don't ding you or anything. It just really doesn't get on your transcript. So I would say if you didn't make it the first time, don't be afraid to wait your 90 days, use that time to prep and prepare, and give it a second shot.
Awesome, thank you. And then I'm going to put you on the spot to put in your knowledge of supporting CLEF for so long. What are some of those most popular? I know Spanish is one of those great testing out of, but other good, just general electives, or just general good transferable credits that the most people take advantage in your
Yeah. So
experience?
like I said, it's we see a category of like the popular exam in each subject area, because that's what you're looking to meet those gen eds. So I would say college composition, which is going to be your freshman English course. Lots of us have taken English all through middle school and high school. So a lot of us have some great skills and knowledge of that subject area. So college composition. We have a college algebra exam that's popular. If you're a non-STEM major and you're looking to just meet that math requirement, sometimes, Ginny, math was a struggle in high school. So by preparing and practicing and taking this exam, you can just meet your math requirement. College algebra. I would think for the social sciences, our top is always U.S. history. Again, high school has taught us, we've had some of these courses in high school and we have an interest that's peaked. Or our psychology is a popular exam as well, for folks who want to meet that introductory psychology, and then when they enroll in college get to take like abnormal psychology and all the fun stuff. So I think those are outside of Spanish language, are our most popular exams.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And then also just to consider perhaps other additional resources. I know you shared modern classrooms, modern, yes, modern
Modern
states,
state.
right? Modern
Mhm.
states. Thank you. And then of course College Board. Are there any additional special resources that you can think of for non-traditional learning or adult learners that we can, our community can take advantage of?
Yeah, I would really just I really can't say enough about modern states. Again, it's not words that maybe showcase what it is that they do, but again, it's free prep resources. I even think of parents who have students and maybe teenagers who are thinking about college themselves, that you could do a modern states course together and kind of challenge each other to get through the course and take the exam at the end. Um, we know that homeschooled families really come have found CLEP to be helpful too, um, as a way to validate, the level of learning that's occurred.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. So we're getting ready to wrap it up. I do have one last question for you, Ginny, but I want to remind everyone that all these resources, all the links, so don't worry about writing anything down. If you're watching on the go, like me, it's okay. Take it with you. Watch the replay. Post your comments, your questions. Plus, tell us where you're watching from. So we want to be able to send you shout outs or come back to the comments and then acknowledge your support. So thank you so much. I want to take a moment also to remind you in the neighborhood is where Wall Store. We have a folder right there in our digital center for College Board where we have all the resources that Jeannie has provided so that you can go and access those. But also, if you just need it one click away, send us a message and we'll take care of you. Not a problem. I do want to take a moment right now to also acknowledge Johnny, Grace, Jenny Escarda, Viga, and also Erica Plute. Thank you so much for watching and supporting this webinar. We had Tasha Esmeralda, and then, of course, we also have Nuya. Thank you so much for supporting over in our sponsors community. And then anyone else who's watching either on some of the other couple of sites where I posted this webinar, please continue to post your questions or comments. We'll make sure that you are taken care of. Ginny, just to wrap it up and be mindful of your time, what will be your call to action for this section to our community? But also one second question is what's next for you? How can we support you? What's on your agenda for 2025?
I think the next step is always a little bit of self-reflection. As you look towards the new year, maybe your goal was to get started in higher education, but you don't know where you want to enroll. So I would say a little self-reflection. Do you have a subject area that's interesting to you that you think, I think I could prepare and practice and earn some college credit before having to know what college, university, etc. And for 2025, I just hope to continue to get the word out. We mentioned that CLEP is a secret. So I hope to continue to bring awareness and help learners reach their educational goals is always my goal.
Awesome, thank you. This is just incredible opportunities. I mean, I'm getting like the excitement itch, in my feet, the happy feet, so that I can go and check it out, but also so that I can pay it forward and share with other members from my network, so other parents as well, that that diverse communities and populations that can take advantage of these other military spouses. Because I know I was in that place where I collected so many electives that led to nothing until someone, a great educator like yourself, Jenny, sat me down and said, Laura, you have over so many electives and I'm not going to do anything for you. So please pick a degree and let's see where we can box you
Yeah.
in a bachelor's. And
Yeah.
so this is such a great opportunity for our members to be able to take advantage. So thank you so much for supporting this. And I hope that everyone take advantage of this. Remember, you have an opportunity to get access to all of these. And then, of course, connect with Ginny as well directly on LinkedIn. Find her. I found her. And so I connected with her. But you can also go straight to our Blue Star Careers community in the neighborhood and connect with us, with other members, and start creating your college pathway. So, Ginny, any last words?
No, thank you again. I welcome the opportunity and best of luck to everyone as we close out 2024.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for watching,
Thank
and we'll
you.
see you next Wednesday.